Sometimes, having very few friends doesn't feel painful, it doesn't feel dramatic, it doesn't feel broken. It feels quiet, not empty, just still. And yet, at some point, a thought still shows up. Not suddenly, not aggressively. It arrives slowly. Why does my life look like this? Why don't I have the kind of social circle everyone else seems to have? That question is rarely loud. It doesn't interrupt your day. It usually appears during still moments, late evenings, while sitting alone, or while watching others laugh, connect, and move so easily between people. That's usually when the comparison starts. Here's something worth saying gently. A small social circle is not always something that needs fixing. Sometimes it's simply information. It tells you something about how your inner world works. Some minds aren't designed for constant interaction. They're not wired for endless stimulation. They're wired for awareness, for noticing, for depth. One pattern that often shows up in people with very few friends is a strong discomfort with anything that feels forced. You don't need proof. You don't need evidence. You notice when something feels off, not dramatically, not suspiciously. You just sense it. The slight performance in someone's voice, the way their personality changes depending on who's watching, the friendliness that feels rehearsed. Being around that energy doesn't make you angry. It doesn't make you defensive. It makes you tired. Your system reads it as noise. So instead of staying and pretending everything is fine, you slowly pull back. Not with conflict, not with explanations, just distance. Not because you dislike people, but because your system prefers calm over confusion. Another pattern has to do with depth. You don't struggle with connection itself. You struggle with shallow connection. Conversations that stay on the surface don't hold your attention for long. Not because you think they're meaningless, but because your mind naturally moves inward. You want to understand what someone values, what shapes their choices, what they're afraid of, what gives their life meaning. When that depth isn't present, your interest doesn't crash. It fades quietly. So instead of maintaining many like connections, you wait, and waiting feels more honest to you than forcing closeness that doesn't feel real. Another important piece is how your nervous system responds to social contact. Some people recover quickly. After being around others, they feel energized, refreshed, recharged. Others don't. If you're the second type, social interaction uses more of your mental energy. You pick up on tone, on pauses, on emotional shifts. You notice what people say and what they avoid saying. Your brain keeps processing even after the interaction ends. So when it's over, you don't feel light. You feel full, and fullness, for you, means you need space, silence, low stimulation, time to settle. This isn't avoidance, it's regulation. There's also a strong sense of independence that often gets misunderstood. You're able to be with yourself. You don't panic in your own company. You can think, reflect, sit with your thoughts without escaping them. Because of this, you don't seek people to fill emptiness. You choose connection only when it adds something real. To others, this can look like distance. It can look like disinterest. But internally, it feels like balance. And then there's history. Most people with very few friends didn't arrive here randomly. At some point, something changed. How they relate to trust. Maybe they gave too much, too early. Maybe they stayed in the wrong dynamics for too long. Maybe they learned that closeness without safety comes at a cost. After that, their approach shifted. They started observing longer, listening more carefully, letting consistency speak instead of words. This doesn't mean they don't want connection. It means They want the right kind. So if you find yourself with very few friends, this doesn't automatically mean something is missing in you. It may mean your mind is more sensitive, more selective, more internally oriented. You're not built for wide circles. You're built for meaningful ones. And sometimes, until those appear, you walk alone, not because you failed, but because you refused to abandon yourself just to belong.